honesty, passion, experience. It's Timberwolves Explosion, hosted on the sportstuff.com and also brought to you by the Oddman Media Network. Here are your hosts, Paladino Joey and Marcus the Forecaster. Hello again, Timberwolves fans. Are you ready for the explosion of Timberwolves basketball? I'm your host, Paladino Joey, or Joey Owijan. Timberwolves Explosion is available on the sportstuff.com and on iTunes. I thank each and every one of you always for downloading and listening to this show. It's great to be back to talk Minnesota Timberwolves basketball. Well, for the most part. It's going to be a typical 3-segment show. We got games to review, cut just 2 more games to preview, and then the regular season is over. And then it's off to playoff basketball conversation from here on out. And, of course, draft talk and all that good stuff. Draft lottery, but yeah, draft talk. We won't be talking about the draft today. I know I may be a little bit bummed and annoyed with that, but we'll get to it. I'll maybe talk about it briefly when we get to the Facebook section. But yeah, review, preview, and fan interaction, Facebook and Twitter and all that good stuff for Timberwolves Explosion. To get to the Facebook page, simply type in Timberwolves Explosion on Facebook. Click on the one that says company, not group, and then click like. And for the Twitter account, it is also at Wolves Explosion. You'll also see both ways to get there on the podcast description for this episode. So there you go. I mean, all that information will be there, including the call-in line, which is 209-736-7877. That's 209-736-7877. Thank you again for joining me. And now we've got 4 games to review. Yeah, 4 games. And once again, all losses. Yeah, well, I guess we're tanking. I mean, I guess somebody has to be tanking, I suppose. I guess it might as well be us, huh? Yeah, I guess it's us. Yeah, isn't that great? I guess it's us. Yeah, we even lost to the Lakers this week. That's yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Man, I wish we did Showtime and T-Wolves this week, me and Vince, but, well, damn it. I wish we did, you know? And now lawn cleanup season is starting. I better mention that right now. Lawn cleanup season is starting tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow, Monday. Yeah, that sucks. It is what it is, though, right? Monday, April 13th, which will be the New Orleans Pelicans game as well. But yeah, lawn cleanup season is starting, which means the show's releases will be sporadic, but I'm going to do my best to continue to release these Sunday night, Saturday night, whatever it is, whatever I can. Probably Sunday night and Brave the Wild Saturday night, which I've been doing. I'm going to do my best to still get these out. They may be shorter. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. It's all of what I have time and how much energy I have to keep these coming. But I'm going to do the best I can because I love doing this so very much. Just letting you know about that. So do apologize if I'm interrupting the show here. Tuesday, April the 7th, Minnesota has to Sacramento. And it was kind of a fun game to watch. It was kind of fun. But just the same old bull crap. Minnesota loses 116 to 111. No defense. I mean, no defense. I mean, why is Omri Caspi's getting 31 points against the Wolves? Why is Caspi getting 31 points against the Wolves? There's a couple of notes to talk about in this one. A couple of notables. And the old broken record thing, this is the good part about the broken record. The bad broken record is the defense sucked. The defense just sucked. I mean, Sacramento scored whenever they felt like it. Caspi had 31, Rudy Gay had 33. Great. That's great defense. And, yeah, I mean, and it's not just about stats. Just watch the game. Just watch the game. Watch about 5 minutes of the game, and you'll know the defense just, freaking sucks. Pardon my own near language there. I mean, the second and third quarter was just abysmal, and the Wolves kind of made it semi-thing in the fourth quarter. Getting blown up by Sacramento really sucks. It's not fun. It's Sacramento, man. Whatever. Derek Williams, I hate watching him. I hate his dunks. I hate this and that. He got 18 points, only 12 field goal attempts to get there. Derek Williams looked good against us, but most of the time he's just whatever. Ben McLemore, sucks. Okay, yeah, he kind of does. And I keep saying, this guy sucks, that guy sucks, this sucks, that sucks. I know that's boring and that's a broken record. So I apologize. Let's get back to the positive side of things, just for the other side of the broken record. Andrew Wiggins and Zach LaVine were fantastic, and they have a wonderful future in this league. Broken record. This is another kind of a broken record, you could kind of say. I almost ought to call this Broken Record Part 2, but I probably won't. I kind of name shows on the fly unless there's something obvious. Oh, yeah, I know what I'm going to call it, and I'll be quiet. I'll let you know later. Andrew Wiggins, fantastic. 26 points, only 11 of 20 from the floor. Only had to shoot the ball 20 times to get there. But this is no stat that annoys the crap out of me. And, it's Flip Saunders in this thing, this article that came on. We'll be talking about it later, too, from 10A Brown. Just love the post. Love everything he has to say on there. The talk about, and yeah, we'll get to it later more, but I'm going to briefly throw it out right now, about he doesn't want Andrew Wiggins shooting three-pointers too much. He wants to kind of not let him shoot too many threes and all that. And how Flip Saunders is obsessed with just two-point shot, and he's like not big on the three-point shot, which is really bad considering modern basketball is all about the three-point shot. And, I kind of agree with Flip. I'm kind of old school that way, but at the same time, no. I kind of agree that I'm kind of annoyed with the constant three-point shooting. But, with all that said, you have to adjust to it, man. You have to adjust to it, and you have to kind of alter things to play to that level. With all of that said, he lets certain guys shoot way too many three-pointers when they're shooting poorly. I don't know. I mean, when a guy's on fire, let him continue to shoot the three. When a guy is really not making him that much and he's missing everything basically all night, okay, that's great, Kevin Martin had 37 points in this game, okay? 37 points in almost 44 minutes. And this is a guy that was not feeling well and was hurt and this and that. But it took him 31 attempts to get there. And he was 3 of 11 from the three-point line. Man, really? That's not good. That's just not good. That's the ugliest 37 points I've ever seen. I mean, it was just clang, bang, miss this, miss that, missed layups, missed 2-point shots, missed 3-point shots, missed floaters. Kevin Martin, this is just like Kobe Bryant and his 9 billion field goal attempts to get his 28, And it drove Vince crazy. Vince Germano, of course, the People's Champ, co-host of Showtime and T-Wolves, and of course a bigger co-host with the Courtside podcast, much more established show than Showtime and T-Wolves at this point. But again, I love Showtime and T-Wolves, and we got to get that going. Hank McCoy, Vince Germano, hosts of the Courtside podcast. Yes, sir. But that's way too many field goal attempts for me, man. What the Flip Saunders, man. And only one three-point attempt from Andrew Wiggins, who, I'm telling you, man, this guy... Oh my God! I'm gonna save it until I get deeper into this into these game reviews. I don't want to go way too far on this Sacramento game because it was kind of meh. I'm telling you, this Andrew Wiggins. Oh my God, guys! I'm telling you. Oh, I ought to say it now. I'm gonna try to save it and let it build up. But Zach LaVine had a double-double, 21 points, 11 assists. Just looks fantastic out there. Made half of his shots, like I was saying. Made only 1 of 5 three-pointers, which was not good, but whatever. It seems like nobody shoots good from 3 on this team, or is allowed to, per se. We also assigned Arinze Onoako, and he's just here because Gorgie Zhang is out, and Justin Hamilton. Justin Hamilton's been the starting center all week, and that about sums it up. Adrian Payne, only 1 of 4 from the floor, 2 points in 13 minutes. I don't know. I mean, I don't know about Adrian Payne. He's a rookie, but he's turning 25. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about Adrian Payne. There's good and bad about him. We'll see. He's not the starting power forward for this team long term. He's hopefully a nice energy guy off the bench later on. Well, we'll see. Right now, I don't know. There's a lot of positives on this team and just a lot of annoyances. And of course, the injuries have made this team look uglier than than shit. Uglier than shit, to be quite honest. And pardon my French, not everybody wants to hear that. Maybe Nate Lindholm's listening. I don't know if he wants to hear that or not, but I apologize. Those of you guys in Aussie, I don't think you guys care too much. I think you guys enjoy it, actually. Maybe you think it's more personality, but okay, whatever. The injuries are just unbelievable. They're sad. They suck. Ricky Rubio is going to be going for some surgery. We'll get back to that later again on Facebook page. It just never ends. Just is what it is. And we're probably, and as according to Flip Sounders, we're going to be staring at the same faces the rest of the way. And the faces that have been missing will not be returning. That being Kevin Garnett, Gary Neal, Anthony Bennett, Ricky Rubio, of course, Gorgie Zhang, Shabazz Muhammad, and Nikola Pekovic. None of the above will be playing at any point again the remainder of the season. The Sacramento game just was ugly, and the Wolves kind of made the score look a teeny bit prettier than it was. And whatever. Let's move on to the Portland game. Wednesday, April the 8th. Did you think the Wolves are going to win this? A back-to-back from Sacramento? No, they just weren't. But Andrew Wiggins was freaking awesome in this game. Andrew Wiggins was freaking awesome. Zach LaVine was really, really good. LaVine again made half of his shots. Kevin Martin made 1/3 of his shots. Oh, but he scored. It's like Kevin Martin's goal is to score more points than field goal attempts, as long as it's more. It doesn't matter how close it is, but at least he had more points than field goal attempts. That's about what it is with Kevin Martin now. 5 out of 15 from the floor from Kevin Martin, 17 points. No. It's just no. Yeah. Chase Budinger has been getting double digits every single night, and he had 5 steals in this game. There was a point the Wolves made it semi-interesting for a little while, and then it just went down the absolute you-know-what as things continued to go during the course of this game. The Wolves lost every quarter in this game, every single quarter. It's crazy when you look at it. I mean, Portland just rolled all over this team. 116-91 was officially the final. 29-19, 26-17, 29-26, 32-29. Every quarter, the Blazers swept it throughout the way. But with all that said, Andrew Wiggins, absolutely amazing. Just love him. Just love him. The Wolves couldn't rebound worth a damn the entire night, and I was cursing and stuff on Twitter. It's really hard to watch, It's really hard. These guys can't rebound at all, and it's annoying. Meyers Leonard was getting lots of rebounds in this one. Well, LaMarcus Aldridge was getting all these tip-ins, and it's just, God dang it. It's hard to watch that. The Blazers just rolled all over us. Is there really much more to say other than Andrew Wiggins was fantastic, 29 points, but field goal percentage not so good. It was more about him. As he does, he crashes the net and gets fouled. He kind of gets guys off the ground and does what he does. Goes in a shooting motion, and he made it 11 of 15 from the line. That's good, but overall a nasty game for the Wolves. 116-91 loss on that in that one. And now we can start talking about Andrew Wiggins, and in this game, and then Zach LaVine in the next one. Yes, Andrew Wiggins had 26 points and 29 points against Sacramento and Portland, respectively. But now, as we continue this road trip, this West Coast road trip, Friday, April the 10th, a 106-98 loss to my across the table, we'll call it, but it's really across the whole planet. Vince Germano. It's across the laptop or across the desktop, whatever you want to call it. Right? Lately, it's been a laptop. I haven't been using it. The desktop's been out of commission for months now. Damn it. But yeah, this is laptop number 2. Laptop number 3, the really good ones upstairs. At least I have number 2 now. I've been using the really old, crappy one for a while, but it was still doing a good job. Okay, pardon me. But yeah, this was a Showtime and T-Wolves type of game, and his club just rolled all over the Wolves like they actually have good players on their team. They actually look like they have good players. The Lakers have good players. Yeah, lots of talent. Lots. Endless talent on the Lakers. Just, yeah, that's Ryan Kelly. Wow, he's just so awesome. He's so good that he got 21 points in this game. Made 5 out of 6 from three-point range. Oh, yeah, he was wide open every freaking time. But, hey, at least he made them. Good for him. 21 points, 7 assists, too. 7 assists as he was hitting Tariq Black. Tariq Black was getting all these offensive tip-ins. God, it just, I could bite the TV screen, man, just watching that. It just killed us. We looked so bad in this game. I mean, we looked so awful. But at least Kevin Martin, well, you know what? This time he had more field goal attempts than points. 2 of 6 from the floor, 6 points. Oh, gosh. Oh, Kevin Martin. Field goals won this one, huh? They won this round. Okay. Zach LaVine doing what he does, attacking the basket, wound up with 18 points. He looks good. Broken record continues. Okay, are we ready to talk about Andrew Wiggins now? Because, yeah, Adrian Payne had some nice close-range dunks and everything, and that was good, and it looked nice, and I appreciate it. He had 7 rebounds in the game. Andrew Wiggins had 10, though. Andrew Wiggins led the Wolves with 10 rebounds, and he had 6 assists in this game, too. He's starting to remind me of somebody that plays in Cleveland a little bit. Okay, just a little bit. Hey, now take it easy. Now, don't you dare come on here and say, oh, whoa, hey, Joey, are you comparing him to LeBron James? A little bit. Early on, a little bit. Now, take it easy, okay? Please, take it easy. But he's starting to show some of that multifacetedness and that leadership on the court that LeBron had even at a young age with the Cavs. And I'm talking when he was 21, not when he's 20 years old. Yeah, when he's 20 years old and stuff. Not when he's 30 and leading the Miami Heat to a second straight championship and MVP awards and maybe his 19th MVP this year if he overcomes James Harden and Stephen Curry. Everybody thinks it's going to be one of those two. And I don't think either one of them is going to win the championship this year. Oh, did I say that? Andrew Wiggins, on paper, he looks like LeBron. And even on the court, he looks like LeBron when he's passing the ball. But you know who he's reminding me of when he drives the lane? I mean, he had a couple of spin and dunks in this game reminiscent of one of my all-time favorite athletes. Not just basketball players, but athletes that ever lived. Just in any sport. Just love him to death. And that man's name is the human highlight film, Dominique Wilkins. Driving the lane, spin and dunk. And he makes it look easy, and he's attacking the lane with no regard for human life, as Kevin Harlan used to say. Just the way he does it, and the way he's able to accomplish it. And he's not even filled out physically yet. He's still skinny, but you can tell it's real. He's got the pop there that's going to come out as he continues to bulk up in the coming years. As now that he's, again, a very young 20 at this stage. Those moves he's making to the basket, just the spins and this and that, and how he developed a fadeaway shot. I mean, I remember the first basket I ever saw him make real early, way back against Memphis or whoever it was. It was Sacramento. No, Memphis. It's always Sacramento, isn't it, to start out the season with the Wolves? But when I saw him shoot a fadeaway and go in and everything, and I'm like, wait a minute, he's 19 and he's posting up and getting fadeaways? Well, what the hell? And then now he's 20 and his posted game's looking even better. Are you telling me this guy isn't going to be the greatest Minnesota Timberwolf of all time? You're telling me he isn't? If this guy stays healthy, he is going to make everybody... Okay, I won't go as far as I want to. But he is going to be the best Timberwolf ever. If he stays healthy, it's going to happen. I wanted to say he's going to make everybody forget about Kevin Garnett. But no, nobody's going to forget about Kevin Garnett. I get all that. But there's something really special about Andrew Wiggins. Not just special. There's something special about Zach LaVine. He's going to be a really good player. I think he's going to make the All-Star game multiple times in his career. But Andrew Wiggins, there's something really special about this guy. I mean, this guy is the real freaking deal. And when I hear people talking about Jabari Parker and why am I blanking? Gordon over there in Utah and stuff, and his offensive game is it's ahead of Andrew Wiggins and stuff. Yeah, maybe it was ahead of Andrew Wiggins when he was timid and weak his first month or so in the season. And yes, it's April. I get it. It's April basketball, and the Lakers suck. Okay, the Lakers suck. Sacramento sucks. But he got 29 points against Portland, too. And Portland's making the playoffs, and they are an annoyingly good team. They're annoyingly good, Tristan Mayer. He might be listening. I don't know, because I'm pretty sure that was him that tweeted me. We'll talk about that much later again. At Wolves Explosion to get there. At Wolves Explosion. Andrew Wiggins is going to be he's going to be a first team All NBA guy for a while in this league. When he's in his prime, first team All NBA, man. No way, man. He is going to be absolutely first team All NBA. There's no doubt about it. He is that good. He has that strong of a future in this league. I'm telling you, the way he goes to that basket with authority, and again, with no physical frame yet at this stage. LeBron had a lot of muscle when he was about 20, 21, 22. He was huge. I remember the dunk he had when I was at the Wolves game, when I had a 10-game plan back in 03, 04. No, 04, 05. 04, 05. It was his third year already. Wow. No. It was his second year in the league. The dunk LeBron had in that, I was like, oh my God. It was like an alley-oop. And, when Wiggins gets bigger like that, he'll never be huge like LeBron, I don't think. But when he gets bigger, oh, my God, this guy. And to think of how people were talking about he had a limited offensive game, it looks pretty damn good now, doesn't it? They thought that he was just going to be a defensive specialist and average about 18 a game throughout his career, maybe 21, 22, like Garnett. No. Kevin Garnett never was scoring 21, 29 points as a rookie. Never. He, maybe once in a while he'd get a 20-pointer. But Andrew Wiggins' aggressiveness on offense is way beyond Garnett's. And yes, Kevin Garnett's defense is way beyond Wiggins right now. But Wiggins' defense is still pretty good. And it's going to get better. And when he, again, fills out physically, it's going to be a lot better. Okay. Whew. With all that said, Justin Hamilton sucks. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, he does suck. I'm not a huge fan. But he's scrappy. He's a nice backup type of guy. But watching him start at center, I can hardly stand it. But Andrew Wiggins looks freaking awesome. But outside of that, the Lakers, the way they just rolled all over us, it drove me nuts. I mean, Tariq Black with 18 points, 10 rebounds. He looked like freaking Kenneth Faried, Tariq Black out there, and it was annoying. It was annoying to watch. Jordan Clarkson is a good player. Vince, he's a good player. And Ryan Kelly isn't bad either. He's actually pretty good too, but he looked too good, man. It was kind of annoying. Wesley Johnson, he looked like the Timberwolves version of Wesley Johnson. He almost fouled out. Only had 10 points and 11 field goal attempts and played about 42 minutes. 2 of 8 from 3. Yep, he was the Timberwolves version of Wesley Johnson on this particular night. And Jabari Brown, Jabari Brown. What the hell? Who the hell is that, right? 20 points, 7 assists. Think about it. Jordan Clarkson had 9 assists. Just look at that. And then Dwight Boyix. I don't know. I'm probably not even saying it right. Look at the look at the assists between these guys. Look at this. This tells you that the way they just rolled all over us and how horrible our defense is because the guys were open right under the basket. Tariq Black was open right under the freaking basket. Even Sacre Bleu, who totally sucks, in my opinion. Pardon me for that. Sacre Bleu, Robert Sacre, wide open under the basket a few times. I mean, look at that. 9 assists for Clarkson. 7 for Brown, Jabari Brown. 6 for Dwight. I don't even know if I'm going to say his name right. Boyix. That's a lot of assists. Oh, and by the way, Ryan Kelly, 7 assists. Wesley Johnson, 4 assists. 35 assists for the game for the LA Lakers. That's a pretty bad defense. But, hey, good on the Lakers. They're having a good game. And, okay. Maybe you won't get a 5th overall pick after all. Maybe they'll win the whole freaking draft, and we'll wind up with, the 3rd or 4th. But, knock on wood, we're going to wind up with 1 or 2. New York Knicks won the other day, so now we're tied at 16 losses, or wins for the year. I wish it was 16 losses. 16 wins for the year, so we're tied now. We're tied. Saturday, April 11th. Golden State has about 16 losses and 65 wins. No, they don't even have 16 losses yet. Oh, my God. 37 wins at home, by the way, which is the same number of points that Zach LaVine had in this game. Yeah. I hate the Warriors, though. They shoot so many threes, it's annoying to watch. It's good. Yes, they make them, but they're annoyingly good at it. Where it's just like that stupid video game where it's just not even fair. Every time he shoots it, it goes in. It's oh, bullshit. Come on. They can't make every single one of them. Give me a break. And it drives me absolutely nuts when they're up by they're up by 9, they're like 15 points with like 30 seconds left, and they're still hoisting threes, and they go in, and it's like, it's like, oh, screw you. Yeah, that bugs me, and that's what I don't like about the Warriors. But I don't know, maybe I'm just jealous. Stephen Curry, they didn't even shoot very well. They were only 11 of 31 from three, 35%. That's not that good, actually, to be honest. But they still made every one they had to make. Even though the Wolves, again, for some strange reason, were like a kind of a tough matchup for the Warriors. Though it did help that Zach LaVine was just exploding on the scene in this particular game. Again, 37 points. The way he was attacking the basket. I mean, he was doing it all. He was attacking the basket, getting layups, getting dunks, shooting threes, hitting long twos, getting fouled, getting free throws. Zach LaVine was absolutely awesome in this game. He brought the Wolves back from a pretty wide deficit in this one. Again, 37 points. He stood out above everybody. Even Justin Hamilton had a double-double, though, which was pretty impressive for his sake. 12 and 10 from the floor. Even 3 assists in the game. 3 blocks for Justin Hamilton. I didn't see that coming, but he played well. And good, and good on him, ultimately. It was pretty much a 7-man rotation the whole night. Chase Budinger was pretty weak for the longest time, but in that fourth quarter, he was good as well. It was Chase Budinger and Zach LaVine that brought the Wolves back in this one. Kevin Martin was what I expected. Not much to really talk about. Adrian Payne, I don't know. He's kind of painful to watch. Pardon me for that. And just heard a bolt of lightning nearly strike the house. Holy moly. That kind of came out of left field. Andrew Wiggins was doing really good for a while. He even wound up with 9 assists, but then he started turning the ball over and he started missing shots, and he just kind of got more timid in this one. And as great as Andrew Wiggins was this whole week, Zach LaVine may have stolen something away from him, and we'll talk about that in a moment. He was unbelievable in this game, and he was good all week. To be fair, he had like 18-point games and all that good stuff. I'm going to go with what I'm going to go with here in a second. I do still think the Warriors are not going to win the finals. I think San Antonio is going to ultimately knock them out of the playoffs because, their only home loss all year, or was it one of two? Yeah, 2 home losses all year was to San Antonio. Surprise, surprise. The Spurs are the worst possible matchup for the Warriors, and if the Spurs wind up, and as it looks like they will, wind up with either the 2nd or 3rd seed, that sets up nicely for a strong possibility that the Spurs would match up with the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals as long as they survive to get there. They will win the first round, as far as I'm concerned. I think they could beat the Dallas Mavericks, 2 versus 7, if that's the case. Or we'll worry about that in a little bit next week when we talk more playoffs. As long as they can survive Memphis, and they have in the past, Golden State and San Antonio Western Conference Finals. It's going to be a really tough battle for the Warriors. They can beat them, but it's going to be tough. Zach LaVine, though, was just so fun to watch in this game. I mean, he was making everything, driving everything. Just an amazing game. Between him and Stephen Curry were going at it all night, and it was pretty cool to watch. Nice to see Zach LaVine play with some confidence. I never really have doubted his confidence, but my goodness, he was playing fantastic. And he's been good all month. About the last, literally back into March, Zach LaVine has been pretty damn strong, to be quite honest. No Rookie of the Year for him, but very strong nonetheless. So let's wrap up this week's reviews, and let's jump into the Lone Wolf and Johnny Flynn Memorial. Well, I think Zach LaVine stole the Lone Wolf away, and I'll give him his first. I'm going to give Zach LaVine his first Lone Wolf award. Very strong honorable mention. In fact, I might even give him a co-Lone Wolf award to Andrew Wiggins, who looks like Andrew Wilkins out there. You know what I mean? Dominique Wilkins, or Dominique Wiggins actually sounds better. That's what I'm thinking of calling this show. Man. But the LaVine machine was quite a machine indeed, particularly in that fourth quarter. And if he can be as clutch as I think he can be, woo! There's your Garnett and Marbury. And they might end up being better versions of both long term, especially if Zach LaVine sticks around versus Marbury's dumbass who had to fly away to New York and accomplish nothing until he got to China. Hopefully LaVine will be in the have his attitude in the right place along with Wiggins, and as long as they feel wanted here, this could be a very fun run for them. Johnny Flynn Memorial, Adrian Payne and Kevin Martin, you guys suck. I'm sorry, suck. Kevin Martin, all these clanging shots, and I don't know, and somebody might yell at me. He was 3 of 11 in the Warriors game, by the way. But when you're as close as you are in field goal attempts versus points, you're not playing good. You're just not playing well at all. Kevin Martin had 11 field goal attempts and 12 points. That's lousy. And he had to make 5 out of 6 free throws to get there. That's lousy, man. So I'm not impressed. And I'm not impressed with Adrian Payne lately. I don't know about him. He looks really... I don't know if he's not sure of himself or what, and he looked pretty awful in this Warriors game. A couple of key turnovers late when the Wolves were actually in this one. So it drove me crazy. Johnny Flynn's to those two guys. There it is. This is kind of a long segment because I got pretty emotional there. And it was, I've been waiting to get that out about the last 24, 36, 72 hours, all the way back to the Laker game, to be quite honest. So there it is. Let's talk about the last 2 games of the regular season, which will have playoff implications, believe it or not.
Do you shop on Amazon? Did you know that you can support this podcast just by doing your normal shopping on Amazon? It's really easy to do. Just go to thesportstuff.com and click on one of the many Amazon pictures. Do your normal shopping, and Amazon sees that we referred you, and they give us a percentage. We'd like to thank you in advance for supporting thesportstuff.com, and please use our Amazon link. Now enjoy the rest of the show.
We are going round like Saturn dream.
Did I really say Andrew Wiggins is going to be a better player than Kevin Garnett? And on a Timberwolves show? Well, yeah, I did. What are you going to do about it? And we are back here on Timberwolves Explosion preview segment number 2. Only 2 more games to preview for this regular season. Unfortunately, the Timberwolves will not qualify for the playoffs. That's probably not a huge surprise for everybody, and I'm not trying to be mean and sarcastic. It's just a fact. And these are 2 teams the Timberwolves well, one of them they've not been playing well against. The other one they've had some good games against, but haven't won any games against them. We'll talk about them very shortly. But to be quite honest, these games have major playoff implications, to be quite honest, at least for the 8th seed. New Orleans and Oklahoma City are tied for the 8th seed in the Western Conference at this point in time. The Trailblazers have to play the Thunder in their other game. There's only 2 games remaining for both of these teams as well. New Orleans Pelicans, their chance of making the playoffs is actually kind of good. And Minnesota will be playing against the New Orleans Pelicans in the Target Center. So we wrap up the season in the Target Center. 2 final games. No Kevin Garnett in uniform. Maybe next year. We'll see. Monday, April the 13th, the New Orleans Pelicans will be pleasant visitors. We'll be trying to give them some nice hospitality here. Some southern hospitality here in Minnesota, right? Yeah, I have no idea what I'm talking about, do I? Absolutely no idea. Omer Asik, Antonio Davis, Tyreek Evans, who's been having a nice rebound of a year. Eric Gordon's still hanging around and playing fairly well. Yeah, Norris Cole's been solid, and at the shooting. Well, they have him at shooting guard. I think he's kind of a point guard, but I don't know what they're doing with this thing. I don't know if I agree with all of this, but whatever. Dante Cunningham's a nice backup power forward for them. They have a lot of nice players. I think they deserve to make the playoffs. But, of course, a lot of people would rather see the Thunder in there with the way Westbrook's been playing with his 19 triple-doubles and all that. Again, to me, that doesn't guarantee he gets an MVP or anything, especially if the team doesn't even make the playoffs. Yeah, it's probably going to be Curry, Harden, or LeBron. I kind of lean LeBron, to be quite honest. But you guys might not like that too much. That's just how I roll. I think there's more to basketball than just three-pointers. And it seems like... Okay, maybe I'm not going to get into that argument either. That's a stupid argument. I apologize. Yeah, there's more to Stephen Curry than just three-pointers, too. New Orleans has pretty much waxed the Wolves all season, except for the one game in Target Center earlier this year. It was a fairly good game, 92-84. Other than that, in New Orleans, it's just garbage. 20 points, 40-point game way back in November. In fact, that was actually Yeah, that was almost a 50-point game. It was a 48-point win for New Orleans. 48-point win for them back on November the 14th. And then a 22-point thrashing March the 29th, not even that long ago. I think New Orleans wins this game by like 11. I'm going to go with 100 to 89. I think Minnesota is not going to win the game. Wiggins will be really good. LaVine will be good. Kevin Martin will shoot too much. Justin Hamilton will either get 4 points or 10 points, and he'll either get 4 rebounds or 9 rebounds. But with Antonio Davis and all those guys there and Osik, he's going to probably wind up with like 4 rebounds and he'll have a crappy game. That's just how I see it right now. I do think Wiggins will have a very strong game, though. I could see Wiggins with a 28, 29-point game and hopefully some more spin dunks. I think he'll have a nice rebound after that icky Oklahoma game. That icky Warriors game, Golden State game. LaVine will be good, but I think Wiggins will be better in this one. And if the Wolves do beat the New Orleans Pelicans, it'll be because of Andrew Wiggins or maybe Kevin Martin makes 2/3 of his shots. It's going to be one of those really good games, but Kevin Martin's not been playing well, and he's not been feeling well. He's not been looking good. New Orleans wins 100 to 89. Yes, this segment's probably going to be fairly short. New Orleans Pelicans win their 44th game of the year, and it gives them a nice little boost, a chance to make the postseason. Oklahoma City comes to town to wrap up the regular season. Maybe 2 seasons end this night. We'll see what happens. Oklahoma has 1 less loss than New Orleans, so New Orleans must have. I'll check that here in a second. But the Thunder still have a chance here. If the New Orleans Pelicans lose to Minnesota on tomorrow, Monday, April the 13th, they will not make the playoffs, and Oklahoma City will. Look at it that way. Of course, Kevin Durant's out until hell freezes over. We all know that. Westbrook is the triple-double king. DJ Augustine is a really nice backup point guard. Waiters has been playing well. You know, when you look at Oklahoma City, they're equipped pretty nicely. Even Kyle Singler is pretty good. And Anthony Morrow's a nice three-point shooter, even though he's not been having the best season really for a while now. Enes Kanter is really good, you know. He's really good. And even Nick Collison's always been fairly valuable for Oklahoma City. The Thunder, you know, they've actually had a similar record, similar type of scores against the Wolves, just not as ugly. Just not as ugly. What's funny, though, is the Thunder really beat the Wolves pretty good way back in December 12th. And then in Oklahoma, the Wolves played very well. I remember that. And they just kind of blew it. Just costly turnovers and missed shots late in that game. And they only had 84 points, 92-82 in January 26th. And then March 13th, Oklahoma did what they do. And they just kind of beat the Wolves soundly. 14-point win. It felt like more. And Mr. Westbrook had his 19th triple-double in that game. That's basically what happened. This game is going to be it's going to be something like, Oklahoma City had under 100 points in one of the games. That's kind of funny over there. I think this one will be higher scoring. Oklahoma's going to be playing with everything they got. They're going to be trying to make the postseason. Don't be surprised if Westbrook has another triple-double or something like that. He'll probably shoot the ball about 30 times. Don't be surprised if he attempts 25 to 30 shots in this game. But I think Oklahoma City's going to win this one. And Minnesota's going to wind up with 16 wins on the season and 66 losses on the year. Yeah, 66 losses on the year. So there you go. There's your 82 games. Oklahoma's going to win this one 102. It's going to be close. I'm going to say 102 to 94. It'll be fairly close. It'll be interesting, but the Thunder will kind of pull away at the end. And I was leading New Orleans possibly making it. No, I think Oklahoma City is going to wind up with the 8th seed, and they're going to make it fairly interesting for the Warriors, but they won't win the series. It'll be like a 5 or 6 gamer. Oklahoma will win one at home, maybe 1 or 2 at home, but I think Oracle's going to be protected well until San Antonio pays a visit and says, "Hey, buddy, we got 5, you got 0. What are you going to do? Let's see what you guys got." And if Golden State goes on and wins, good for them. That's basically where it stands. Oklahoma City has a very nice lineup, even without Kevin Durant. But with Kevin Durant, they're a 55-65 win team. To be quite honest, it's just unfortunate. It's been an injury-riddled couple of years for Durant and Westbrook. Mostly Westbrook for a while, but then this year is just a lost year for Kevin Durant. Kind of like a David Robinson breaking his foot type of year. Unfortunately for them, though, they will not be in the draft lottery. Because even if they miss the playoffs, they're going to get the 14th pick. Big deal. Big freaking deal. 14th pick. But then again, you can get a pretty good player at 14. It's just probably not a game changer right out of the gate, though. Like a Tim Duncan for San Antonio. Remember what, that's what got things going for them, obviously. All right, enough. There it is. I feel the Wolves will not win another game this season. They will they will finish this year with a 12-game losing streak. I'm not trying to be mean. It just is what it is. Do you think I'm enjoying that fact? It's not a fun thing, but unfortunately, it's going to be what it is. So that we'll take a quick break and get into the fan interaction right after this. And we are back here on Timberwolves Explosion, segment number 3, fan interaction segment. Let's roll. Simply look up Timberwolves Explosion on Facebook. Timberwolves Explosion. Click on the one that says company, not group, and then click like, and you'll join the page and comment on there as much as you can. It's a great addition to the show and always greatly appreciated. All right, so let's pick up where we left off on the Facebook page. As usual, I post the show on there to let everybody know the show's out and everything. Sometimes people comment, sometimes they don't. That's a great point of, it's a great checkpoint from the last show. Nobody commented this time, but I do appreciate the likes that were given. Why am I forgetting his name now? Oh my God, I feel so bad. Oh my God, I feel bad. But yeah, one of the major Timberwolves guys, I think it's McPherson. Yeah, McPherson. Posted this picture on Twitter. The Keep Calm and Andrew Wiggins, James McPherson, I believe is his name, and I do apologize. Why am I blanking? Because I know the name very well. He goes on 1500 frequently, but then again, he doesn't necessarily need my help or anything. But yeah, he posted a nice picture. Keep Calm and Andrew Wiggins. I think that's cool. Posted that up there. I got a comment back from Tanae Brown. He says, the only reason I can really keep watching the Wolves is Wiggins at the moment. Ha ha. Yep, I agree. Well, Zach LaVine too, but yeah, I agree. And to see how many, see if Kevin Martin will get more points than field goal attempts, or maybe more field goal attempts than points. That's actually even funnier. It's more interesting. I posted this article as well from Wojo on Yahoo. It says, Wojnowski. He says, Rubio to have exploratory ankle surgery. So it's more or less kind of checking it out to see what's going on in there, more than actually necessarily fixing stuff. But then, maybe there's something he's going to find in there. The doctor down there is going to find, and then we'll see what happens. It's going to be in Southern California on Monday, tomorrow. So, yeah, we'll find out what goes on. Arthroscopic surgery on that troublesome ankle. So we shall see how things turn out there, because see where the source of irritation is coming from for Mr. Ricky Rubio. Now to check some outside posts here, obviously not from me posting. We start with Kamal Hilton, who shared Timberwolves Explosion. Thank you so very much. Kamal Hilton out of Toronto, Ontario. He also works for blogs for NBA Australia. So very, very, very good writer indeed, without a doubt. And keeps up with the Toronto Raptors. Kind of a beat writer for the Toronto Raptors with NBA Australia. So very, very cool. And he continues to grow and develop in his media career, and really appreciate his posting and sharing for Timberwolves Explosion. I'd like to continue to share and post what he does as well. Thank you very much. And again, like we've talked about in the past, he will be a welcome guest on this show. Do expect to hear his voice in Timberwolves Explosion at some point in the not-too-distant future. Obviously, right now, my schedule gets a little tighter, and that's going to suck a little bit, but we'll see what happens in the coming weeks and months and all that, and getting into the draft, and maybe talking some Wiggins during the summer, maybe something like that. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Joseph Phillips out of Australia saying, Sacramento game. Realize you're tired, but poor shooting, chaps. Yeah, meaning he's talking about the Wolves in general. They're tired, but poor shooting, chaps. This could easily have been 157, 152 type of game with better shooting. Aren't these two teams letting the most points of the league? Yeah, this is pretty bad defense on both teams. It's not just the Timberwolves. Sacramento has, the last time they had good defense, I don't really remember. Maybe when Ron Artest was there for a short spell. Just because of him, though. Overall, Sacramento's really never had good defense. Maybe back in the 80s or something. You know, I mean, I barely remember Sacramento ever having good defense, ever. Phillips continues on a different topic on Wednesday, saying that the lines makers reckon Portland will win this game by 17 points. Yep, by 17. I reckon / hope they keep it close. And the Wolves did not, unfortunately. That would have been nice. Then there was a lot of conversation back and forth with me and Joseph Phillips. I remember that. He said Portland are playing like smug SOBs. Yep, I agree with that. I hate that team. He said, I hope the Pups wear them down. Yeah, I think they're very smug. I said, I hate the Blazers, and that's why they're a bunch of assholes. And that's why, yeah, because they're smug. It's a couple of back and forth there. He said, Clippers are Trailblazers. Who takes the number one spot? I was saying it's tough, but probably the Blazers because of the history. But Chris Paul is as douchey as it gets. And Griffin is cheap. Remember when he sat on Kevin Love? That was crap. That was a bunch of BS. Here we go. Yep. Joseph Phillips continues saying how there was dumb decisions by the Pups. They are trying to be globetrotters, but their effectiveness is that of a team full of tranquilizers. Oh, yeah. Tranquilizers. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, they look like fifth graders. There was a big mess out there. And Joseph Phillips saying, Paige and Kevin Martin, the team is on the court already and waiting for you to turn up. Because, yeah, Martin was pretty bad indeed. Pretty bad without a doubt. Yeah, that was a fun little conversation back and forth. He's a cool guy. Tanae Brown, yep, posting the article, a very important one. Simply, and Tanae was saying, I just don't know anymore. And so Flip Saunders apparently doesn't want Andrew Wiggins shooting threes. And that conversation continues to frustrate us all. I think he shouldn't be the coach of the Timberwolves going into the future because if you're going to limit Andrew Wiggins in any way, you're crazy. Let Andrew Wiggins play his game. You know, you can develop him and give him pointers and teach him stuff. You know, show him stuff, sure. But to deny him a potential part of his game that I think would be pretty good, be careful, Flip. Please be careful. Joseph Phillips saying one day, Wiggins, he will be telling a coach what to do. Hopefully without the Harden ego. I'm not a big Harden fan either. You know how I always didn't like Westbrook. I don't know. The NBA is getting so cocky, and now it's driving me crazy. And I love the league and everything. I love the game, but a lot of the players are starting to turn me off more and more with some of that ego. And I know it's always been there, but it's worse than it kind of ever was. You know, it's just too much of like a mafia like driven like. They're almost like mafia leaders out there. It's getting to be too much. Like they can do whatever they want, and like especially LeBron. Good Lord, he's like the freaking Godfather, and it's too much. Anyhow, off topic, just a little bit there, getting a little bit too far. Hank McCoy, yep, here we go. He says, "Hey Joey, sorry I haven't been on the boards much the past week. I've been sick as a dog, and yes, he has been sick. That's why he hasn't been recording that much either." He says, "For those who don't know, we are raising a little coin to keep the show going over the next 12 months. So if any of the listeners want to throw us an alley-oop, here's the link." Excuse me. He says, "Thanks a million for always supporting the show." And it's www.gofundme.com/CRTSDE. So yeah, do get on the Facebook page or just refer to that link that I just read out. And feel free to donate to the Courtside Show. I'm not mad at all for him for posting that on there. I'm a huge supporter of the Courtside podcast, and he's been Hank McCoy and Vince Germano. You think they haven't been huge supporters of Timberwolves Explosion? You think they haven't supported us? Are you kidding me? Yeah, they have been very supportive of this show. So I have no shame in highly supporting the Courtside in this movement as well. So there you go. I personally have not donated yet. I probably shouldn't even be saying this, but I'm having a really tough financial time right now. But I will be donating in the not too distant future here. I just need to kind of get through this horrible month of April. It bites me in the ass every year, and you could probably guess why. It's the tax man cometh. Anyhow, Vince Germano. That was a little too personal, Vince Germano. But I would like to, just in case they're wondering, how come he hasn't given anything? What the hell? If he's so supportive. I will be. Sorry. Okay, Vince Germano saying, Zach LaVine, wow, you can trade us Shabazz now. you never know. And I didn't even post a reply on there, and I apologize. But then again, that wasn't too long ago. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody's going to get traded in the next year or two. I mean, there's no doubt about it. That's just how somebody is going to get traded because you don't want to lose them via free agency. They're all good players, but eventually, either somebody's going to have to be willing to be a really valuable sixth-man type of guy, or they're going to have to be traded at some point. You're going to have to be willing to trade them away to give them a chance to really exceed whatever they're going to be, to become what they're going to be. Some people think Shabazz could be a James Harden type of talent. Maybe not quite at the MVP type of uber talent that James Harden is, that James Harden has become. I'm not too quick to call him an MVP just yet, but the possibility does exist for him. We'll see what happens. I'm going to kind of get off that now. Let's go to Twitter. At Wolves Explosion. At Wolves Explosion. Tanae Brown, Vince, and Tanae Brown, Vince, and Kamal Hilton all retweeting the last episode, the broken record, and even favoriting as well. Thank you guys so much. Those are the three kings right there. The three kings of Timberwolves Explosion. Hank McCoy too. Hello. And Joseph Phillips. I mean, I shouldn't be leaving anybody out, but I mean, these guys have been the kings of retweets and shares and stuff, Facebook, all that. Thank you so very much, you guys. God bless you. Seriously. You think I'm kidding? God bless you. And it's not because all I care about is more listeners. It's because, well, you know, the show does need listeners to survive. You know, I mean, otherwise I'm just talking to myself, and that kind of, I don't know, I think that kind of defeats the purpose of doing a show, doesn't it? I mean, I'd like to be entertaining somebody out there rather than just talking to myself, you know. I think I'm doing a show like maybe when I was 5 to 15 years old when I used to do that. Okay, getting too personal again, aren't I? Yeah. Here we go. What the heck? Okay, at Jesse Silbaugh, at Jesse_Silbaugh, saying, I mean, LaVine tried to throw an alley-oop where there wasn't one. Then we give the ball back after forcing a turnover. And this is during the Portland game. I was saying, get a bleeping rebound, you zombies. I was getting so frustrated. I was just blowing up. And then I was saying how it's unbelievable how sloppy they are. And he says, we don't need Okafor, to be honest. We need a rim protector. We need Karl Towns. Yeah. I'm starting to, and I was telling him right there, you know what? I've been thinking about that, and I'm starting to change too. Because we already have Andrew Wiggins to do, and LaVine and Shabazz Muhammad. All those guys can score. And you have Gorgui Dieng blocks shots, and he can be athletic and stuff as well. But he's not a true blue rim protector. I thought he was, but no. The last 2 years, I wouldn't say he's a full-blown rim protector. I thought he was a better one last year than he was this year. I mean, I don't know what happened there, but when you have Karl Towns, you know for sure you have a full-blown, absolute, no doubt about it, rim protector. And then maybe, just maybe, you move Gorgui to power forward. Well, gosh darn. If you're not all the way in on Adrian Payne, and I'm not. I sure wouldn't be at this point. I'm not in on Adrian Payne all the way. No way. Let him and Gorgui Dieng compete for minutes at power forward. And maybe another guy, whoever he is. Maybe another guy. But if you get Karl Towns to be the starting center of the future, and you still maybe have Pekovic come off the bench, damn, that's a pretty nice. That's actually, you go from a very weak front line, especially right now, to a really, really damn good front line, a ridiculously good front line, especially if like guys can stay healthy as well. I even asked him, I'm honestly beginning to change to Towns also. And I was saying, you must be listening to the show lately. I keep plugging Okafor. He says, I have not, but if you're on iTunes, let me know. I might give it a spin. I was saying I am. It's Timberwolves Explosion on iTunes. So hopefully you're listening, and a shout out to you, Jesse. Hopefully he's listening. Sounds pretty cool and very knowledgeable. We've had conversations in the past. We're pretty much of like mind when it comes to Timberwolves thoughts. Some of these Minnesotans, they think I'm too negative, or they think it's not even like I'm too negative necessarily. They might think I'm too critical, I guess, of this and that, and And of course, they're way too much Kool-Aid drinking when it comes to Kevin Garnett, and they get annoyed when I dare to say somebody might end up having a better career than Kevin Garnett. Well, I did on this show. I said it. It's out there, baby, and I'm not taking it back. Oh boy! Now as I continue, this won't be too much longer. As I was ripping those annoying, stupid Mall of America commercials on FSN, and yes, it's Mall of America Studios. You're gonna get Mall of America commercials, okay? I get that part, but my God, those commercials suck. Can't you change it? Have something else? Do you really want to advertise to a crowd that that all it is you go there and spend $1 billion on jeans, and all that? I don't know. It just bugged me. I don't like those commercials. I'm not offended by them, but I just think they suck and they're annoying. And yeah, it's just everything I hate about malls. Actually, you go there just to spend like a complete moron. Is that really what you want to advertise? Okay, well maybe it is. Rip City Bad Boys at Rip City Bad Boys. Yes, sir. They have a show. Portland and Detroit. I think this is Tristan Mayer because this was during the Portland game. So I do think this is Tristan Mayer, who is the Rip City Portland guy. And, of course, Keelan King is the Detroit Pistons guy. Very nice show. Worthwhile. Do check it out, without a doubt. We haven't been interacting much lately. And it's kind of a bummer. Yeah, but it was really nice to hear from Tristan Mayer. Very cool. And, willing to shout out when we interact and stuff, without a doubt. You're saying, what do you think about Rubio and Peck going forward in long-term plans or too injury-prone? I say, yeah. Basically, are Rubio and Peck too injury-prone, or are they in the long-term plans? I think Rubio is still in the long-term plans. I don't think he's as injury-prone as he is accident-prone. He's more he's more accident-prone. It's not like he gets hurt all the time, but when he does get hurt, it's really bad and it sucks, type of thing. And if he's hurt, 1 year, it seems like he stays hurt. Where Pekovic, it's like he's hurt every Mickey frickin' year, and it's annoying. I think Pekovic is not ultimately in the long-term plans if the Wolves can help it. I think Nikola Pekovic, well, I mean, it depends. If Pekovic suddenly can find whatever it is, solve whatever it is and stay healthy, more power to him, but I think you keep him as a backup and not a starter. That's, to me, the best-case scenario for Pekovic. He's not a starter. Maybe he plays 25 to 28 minutes a game, something like that off the bench. A major spark plug scoring center off the bench. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong at all with that. And if he starts feeling any type of soreness, sit him down. And pray to God he's honest about it. Ricky Rubio is in the long-term plans. We just signed him to a multi-year deal. And when he was fully healthy, particularly at the beginning of the season, he looked so good out there. But once that ankle injury happened, I think his timing was off. I think his overall confidence was off. But you get an off season and you get things corrected. Maybe he comes back next year and averages 11.5 assists, and he's way better. And he has a huge element to his game. He's a perfect match for LaVine and Andrew Wiggins, without a doubt. And he's a perfect match for Anthony Bennett and Adrian Payne, to be quite honest, because those guys are close to the basket, dunker-type players. They're athletic, close to the basket type of guys. You think Ricky Rubio doesn't fit in with them? He does. He absolutely does. Even Gorgie Zhang and Karl Towns or Okafor or whatever. He's going to be a good, you got to keep him. Long-term plan, Ricky Rubio is in. This is some kind of a random shout-out. Not sure if that's really meaningful to the show. It's kind of back and forth. I wonder what this means. Hashtag polish. I guess that's a compliment. So, at TJF Sports, I guess that's kind of a... Yeah, because here we go. I was saying Wiggins' 30th 20-point game of the season, not bad for a guy people thought was offensively limited coming into the draft, and that got a lot of favorites. I'm telling you, that one got a lot of favorites, and I appreciate everybody out there for that. People really liked what I had to say about that, including Derek James, who works for 1500. He's the NBA Timberwolves blog writer for that site, so thank you very much for that. Zachary Stratton and I had a back-and-forth conversation as well. He said, kid is going to be a force to be reckoned with, and he's only 20 years old. He says he just scratched the surface on how good he can be. He has all the tools to be a superstar in this league. Just needs to stay focused on getting better every day. And then Vince Germano saying, yes, sir. When I was talking a bit about Yeah, I was talking about, are we really this bad? Or are we just losing on purpose to the Lakers? Vince Germano at Vinrock44 was saying, are we really this stupid? LOL, but seriously, we have so many youngsters that want to prove themselves, and that's pretty much what was going on. The Lakers' youth were playing well. Vince was saying, yes, sir. And then I said, Dominique Wiggins. Yeah, Dominique Wiggins in that game, man. I do believe that's the end of the interactions. Twitter got kind of busy this week. And yes, it is. Yes, it is. It was kind of it looked like it was going to be a really short fan interaction, and it got really big on Twitter. Lots of back and forth conversation. Do appreciate those of you that did have a conversation with me, ultimately, on there. And Vince Germano, all you guys, love you so much. Lots of interesting conversation, to be quite honest. And I'm pretty much out of time here. It's been an hour. So I want to thank you all so much for listening. Please don't hesitate to tell a friend. It only helps the show. And for those of you out there that do like the show, maybe you've been listening for a while and I've never met you, shout out, say hello to me on Twitter or Facebook. And of course, as well, if anybody out there, if you're willing to write a review about Timberwolves Explosion on iTunes, like you like the show, give me a 5-star, 4-star, even a 3-star rating, whatever you want to give. Anything above 2 stars, I would say, to be quite honest, because I don't think this is a 2-star show. I think it's better than that. But give me a nice rating on there. Write a review. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be long at all. But if you want it to be long, more power to you. Again, thank you so much for your support of this show, and I will give you a shout out right away as soon as I see it on iTunes, because I do try to check it fairly frequently. Thank you so much, all of you, for your listenership, for your support, and I'll be more than happy to support you as well. Thank you again, everybody, for listening, and we'll be back next week to wrap up only 2 games with the Wolves, and we're probably going to preview some playoff basketball, and that's going to be a lot of fun, and then we'll gradually get into the draft. It's going to go from slow draft into hardcore draft over the course of the next weeks and months. We'll be back next week. Take care.